When is the last time you heard somebody talking about Bournemouth? 6th in the Premier League with 25 points out of a possible 48. Right, and with wins such as 2-0 over Arsenal and 2-1 against Man City, which I know beating City is not that, impressive anymore, but you still get the point. They are a dangerous side, and they've gone heavily under the radar this season. Just because they're kind of a small side, I think it's okay to say that. Like, obviously, in the grand schemes of football, no, they're not a small side. They're in the Premier League, probably the highest level of football in the world. However, in terms of the Premier League, they are kind of a smaller side. I think it's okay to say. They've been comfortably in the Premier League for a few seasons now, but they're not a side that you always think they're going to be in the top 10 every season. And last season, well, this summer, they sold their star striker Dominic Solanke to Tottenham for 64 million euros, so like 60 million pounds. And a lot of people were expecting them to either be stagnant or decrease in quality, especially as their signings were not at the quality that Solanke is. I think we need to congratulate the manager, right? Iraola came from Rayo Vallecano, where in that season where he left them, he made them finish 8th, and I'm pretty sure they beat both Barcelona and Real Madrid in that season. He's managed to build a squad that, like, they can say that they're 6th in the Premier League right now. And their highest, rated player probably is Milos Kerkez, the Hungarian left-back, who's only 21 years old. So they really are the underdog story that are kind of being overshadowed by Nottingham's success this season. Against top 6 sides, right, and yes, we are including City and United in when I say top 6 sides, they lost 1-0 to Chelsea early in the season, and then this was followed by a 3-0 loss to league leaders Liverpool. Then they beat Arsenal 2-0, with Arsenal also getting a red card. That is an impressive result. And then they beat City 2-1. And now in between the Arsenal and City games, they did play Aston Villa, who are also a top 8 respectable team, definitely in English football. And that was a 1-1 draw. Aston Villa have players who are on a much higher quality kind of than Bournemouth. So I think this just displays how impressive Bournemouth have been this season. Yes, only 25 points from a possible 48. But if you look at the player, the level of the players and the fact that they're 6th place, it's more impressive than maybe it seemed at first. And they did also beat Tottenham 1-0. An example of a standout match for Bournemouth this season was their game against Wolves on the 30th of November, where Bournemouth won 4-2. Kluivert scored a penalty in the 3rd minute. Then Larsson got a goal back for Wolves in the 5th minute. Then Kerkez scored in the 8th minute, so it was already 2-1 for Bournemouth in the 8th minute. And then Kluivert, who, bear in mind, he scored the first penalty. Bournemouth actually got 2 more penalties, and Kluivert converted both of those. So I think he set a record of the first player to score 3 penalties in one game. Furthermore, I think the most common example of just the brilliance that they've managed to do this season is on the 31st of August against Everton, where Everton were winning 2-0, right, with goals in the 50th and 57th minute. But then in the 87th minute, Semenyo scores for Bournemouth, making it 2-1, so applying pressure to Everton. Then Lewis Cook in the 92nd minute equalises. He cooked, really. And then in the 96th minute, classic example of Premier League extra time, Sinisterra scores, so they actually won the match 3-2. And a very similar thing happened against Ipswich, where Connor Chaplin scored in the 21st minute, giving Ipswich the lead. However, then in the 87th minute, Enes Unal scored, equalising, and then Otara scored in the 95th minute, giving Bournemouth the win. So this season, they've just been absolutely brilliant, to be honest. Underdogs in the Premier League by far, I think. Yes, I know there's only been 16 matches. It's a bit early to say that they are contenders for European football, to be honest. But they're playing brilliantly. Obviously, it's not just down to the tactics. I mean, as a team, they're playing with incredible chemistry. Although they don't have many standout players, you wouldn't look at half, 3/4 of their team and be like, he deserves to be in the Premier League team of the season. Right, when it comes down to May or something. But they still find a way to damage all these teams. And it's not like just that they're beating big teams, they're also dealing with the smaller teams and mid-table teams. So like, it's not, something surprising. And to be honest, I won't be surprised if they finish in the top 9 this season, like maybe 8th place, which is wild because I didn't expect to be saying that a few months ago.